Well, thanks for coming back. And Carrie, you know, it's been now more than 16 years that elementary children in Humble ISD have had the chance to really work through some very creative, independent problem solving through their participation in Science and Engineering Fair. And we are thrilled to have three extraordinarily special people with us to tell us more about Science Fair this year on Humble ISD. My far right is Dr. Erin Clevenson. Erin is a former school board member, served on our school board for 9 years. Erin, thank you. Thank you. And we'll kind of have a little personal side note. So if you are not entirely satisfied with my performance, he hired me. So it's his fault. But Erin, most importantly, Erin from day one of the Science Fair has volunteered a significant amount of his time to coordinating Science Fair throughout Humble ISD, and Erin, it's great to see you.
Thanks. Good
Next to Erin is one of the most amazing teachers I've ever experienced in my career, Stacy Ward. Stacy is at Timbers Elementary School.
Yes.
Stacy teaches math and science at Timbers and is also the campus coordinator for Science Fair. And sorry guys, but my really favorite person in the whole world, last but not least, is Haylee Pupo. And Haylee, it is great to see you.
Great to see you too.
And Haylee, I am proud to say, is again the district first place winner in Science Fair. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And Haylee, I'm going to come back to you in just a second. Erin, let me please start with you. And if you would, just give us an overview, all of us an overview of really what Science Fair entails in our district.
Well, we do science fairs at the secondary level as well as the elementary level. But at the elementary level, it's a little more complex. A lot of our elementary schools have science fairs at their school, where the students, with a lot of help from their teachers, do science fair projects where they pick a topic that's of interest to them and pursue it, research it, and then actually do the experimentation that goes with it to try to learn a little bit more about science, something that they're interested in. And then what my role is we bring in judges and we organize a judging exchange among the elementary schools to come in and provide feedback to the students on how they did and to pick the winners.
And it takes a lot of volunteers there, and so we're going to come back in just a second. We want to spend a moment on that as well.
Absolutely. Stacy, obviously, you know, your boots on the ground. You're in the elementary school, math, science, but also the Science Fair coordinator at Timbers. Tell us, how does the Science Fair experience for our students provide them enrichment?
They get to pick a topic, any topic that they want within reason, and they get to explore that topic deeper with more materials, more time than we would be able to in the classroom. So if they wanted to choose a topic for the experiment that we had talked about a little bit in class, they can take what we've discussed and then take it further into their own discovery and research to present for their science fair project. So they get to go, they can get many more resources than we have, and unfortunately available at school, and then the time, they have more time to spend on that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think Haley's a really good example of that. So Haylee, you, two-time winner, district winner. Share with everyone what your topics were, what your hypothesis was, what you were testing for the two projects where you were district winner.
All right. Well, 2 years ago, I had Go Nuts for Energy, where I burned nuts to find out how much energy was in them. And I built my own calorimeter, and it was really fun to burn the nuts and see how much energy it was. And the walnut was the most, because it was like the biggest. It carried like twice more, like 2 more times than the other nuts.
Really?
But it was the pecan, like I thought, because I was thinking that it was the pecan because it had the most fat. Good fat, though. So you can keep on eating this pecan pie. And my hypothesis was right. It was the pecan, and it was really fun to make all the charts and all the things. And my previous science project was Buzz Buzz, Can You Hear Me Now? Where I heard about this ringtone where supposedly that you could bring it in class and the teachers wouldn't hear it because they couldn't hear that decibel.
Because we're old.
And I didn't really think that was true, so I wanted to test it out. And I got over around 70 people, 64. And I tested them, and the cool part that I found out was that from the age groups to 18 to 20, you actually started losing a lot of your hearing, but you couldn't tell because those decibels we don't use in everyday life. They're like jet planes and stuff.
Gotcha.
So we don't really notice it until it affects human communication.
Now, Haylee, do you remember you tested my hearing?
Yes.
And you said my hearing was normal, right?
It was good for your age.
Oh, okay. I was going to leave the age part out, Haylee, but that's okay. You did say that. That's true. It was pretty good for my age.
I'm impressed. This is a fifth grader that's,
she's a scientist.
That's conducting these experiments, which
Haylee
is
is a scientist.
just amazing. And obviously, Aaron, you have been involved with this for so long, and you get to see so many students. And actually, I'm just in awe of the ideas that she came up with, her hypotheses to test. But she's just one of hundreds of kids that get to do this. So obviously, that requires lots of volunteers. Tell me, Aaron, how do you recruit volunteers? What all do our volunteers do at the science fairs?
Well, we recruit volunteers any way that we can. Okay. So anybody that's listening to this should volunteer.
Okay.
Because volunteers, especially the ones that come in and help us judge, are extremely important, especially those that are not parents of kids in the schools currently. So we solicit through newspapers, we solicit through local Rotary Club and things like that can provide judges for us at the science fairs. We also need lots of people to help. So we have a core of about 5 of us that coordinate at the science fairs. And another very important aspect is the volunteers that come in and help at the schools on the day of their fairs. So we have a judging exchange so parents don't have to judge their own students or at their own school. And we ask an elementary school to send parents to other schools to be judges so that it's anonymous.
Right.
But we also need those volunteers to come in and actually help on the day of the fair, to wrangle kids and provide refreshments and things like that.
Do take special note of what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You'll see the website where you could not only get more information about Humble ISD Science Fair, but much more importantly, where you can volunteer. The big payoff for volunteering is you get to work with students like Haylee, and that's an amazing experience. Haylee, good to see you again. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Stacy, thank you for the tremendous work you do.
Thank you.
Aaron, great seeing you.
Good seeing you all. Thank you very much.
All right, and you all please stay with Carrie and I. We'll be right back.